Hey guys, welcome back to Southern Mode Pottery on the Homestead. This morning we're going to be making sourdough pancakes, and I'm just going to do a voiceover because there's a lot of activity going on in the background. Brody's not been feeling good, so he's had a little cough. So I just thought it would be easier to do a little voiceover on this video. So I started off by putting 2 cups of my sourdough starter into my bowl. And then I took 1/4 cup of coconut oil. And I just heated it up in my cast iron skillet on my stove. But you can heat it up in the microwave if you prefer. It's just, I'm going to be cooking in coconut oil in my cast iron skillet, so I just did it that way. And then you're going to add 2 eggs. And I got these from our chickens from the chicken coop. And then you're going to give it a good stir and stir it up. Now, as far as sweetener in it, you can use honey or you can use maple syrup. I use 2.5 tablespoons of maple syrup in mine. But now you can just use whatever you want. And that's just going to kind of give it a little bit of flavor to it. If you want to use sugar, white sugar or brown sugar, you can use that if you prefer. That's just your preference. So after that, I got 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I added the salt to it. And then you're going to use 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and that's going to go in last. Your 1 teaspoon of baking soda is going to be the last thing that you're going to want to add. And once you stir it up, it is going to bubble up, and it is so fun to watch your baking soda bubble. And you're going to have this fluffy looking pancake batter, and it is so delicious. I have had my 2 cast iron skillets over on my stove top preheating. You want to add your batter to a preheated hot cast iron skillet. If not, your batter will stick. And you're just going to pour it in there. And as mine bubbled up, I let my bubbles pop and then I flip it. I don't ever flip it until the bottom side is completely done. And you'll see the bubbles start popping, and then you know that it's time to flip them. Now, if you have never had a sourdough pancake, they are absolutely delicious. If you have your own sourdough starter, this is a great way to use up your discard. And it works better if you feed your sourdough starter the night before and let the grains ferment. But if you don't, it's okay. You can still use it, and it still makes beautiful pancakes, even if it has not been fed. That's just your preference. You can take it straight out of the refrigerator and use it if you wanted to. But it makes the prettiest pancakes, and they are so delicious, and we really enjoy them in our household, and they are healthy. So I would definitely give sourdough pancakes a try if you have your own starter already. If not, you can, if you do not have a sourdough starter, there are so many different recipes out there and so many different directions that you can follow to start your own sourdough starter at home. You can also order online sourdough starter kits. So I'm going to show you in this next clip how I feed my sourdough starter. It's a very simple way. It is not technical, and some people would probably not agree with how I do this, but it works for me. So here we go. A cup of flour to add to what I had left, and I probably had about 1/2 cup of starter in my container, and I just use this glass container. It has a glass lid, and I just leave it sitting on top. And when I'm not using it, I keep it in the refrigerator, and then I'll bring it out and feed it and then use it again. And then, so I've got my flour in there, and I'm just going to use, I just pour enough water to make it the consistency that I like it. And I use, I don't use tap water in it. I always use a bottled water or a filtered water, because I've heard that, that tap water can kill your starter. So I just add and stir until I get the consistency that I'm wanting. Which is probably going to be about a half of a cup. I haven't filled this up. This is a half a cup measuring cup, and I have not filled it all the way to the top. So I'm going to figure do you see how thick this is? That's a little thick for me. So I'm just going to add a little more water because I like mine a little thinner than that. We want to thank y'all for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, and we will see y'all next time. Y'all have a good Saturday.